Today we're saving seed, so stay tuned. Welcome to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Today we're in the garden series, and we're going to be showing you how I have discovered saving seed is beneficial to a self-reliant homestead. For example, I have some radish that I allowed to go to seed, and this radish develops these pod-like structures right here, and inside those little pods are your seed. So let's go ahead and pull a radish. Look at the size. Look at the size of that radish. These are giant radish. So we're going to harvest the pod, and I'm going to go ahead and hang them in the shed and let them dry. And when they're well dried, we're going to go ahead and harvest the pods, or harvest the seeds out of those pods. Here's the dry pods from those radishes. They are actually early scarlet globe is the name of the radish. So with this dried, we just break the pod open. Inside you will see the seeds. Those are the seeds that you want to harvest. So I'm going to go ahead and pour those seeds into my seed packet that's already marked that I saved over from last year. So I saved my seed packets, and now we've got some seeds in my seed packet that I saved from last year. So we have some seeds for next year's crop. Just break these pods open, and they're full of seeds, and you want to just harvest those seeds and pour them right down into your packet. But you want your seeds to be dry when you put them in there, because if they're not dry, they can mildew. Another item I hung in my shed to dry is the corn. I took a couple of my corn cobs and I just hung them inside the shed, and we came up with some dried. It's all the kernels are dry, so we can just pluck the kernels right off of there. And these are ready for planting next year. This is a Siam Queen Thai. Really good aroma to it. So these little seeds that are inside of these little pods right here, we're just going to go ahead and extract those seeds and put them right in this little packet. I'll show you the seeds. They're really tiny. Those little black seeds, they're really tiny, so be careful when you're extracting the seeds from this. And they must be dry, again, because you don't want the mildew to set in while you're storing your seeds. I understand the reason for storing them in this wax paper envelope is to keep this fragile little seed from dehydrating and drying out completely, because then it'll render it no good. So you do want just a little bit of moisture in your seeds and not totally dry. And we'll just go ahead and pop this in the envelope to where it's marked, and we'll put it in our seed file and put it in the refrigerator. I did harvest my dill earlier in the season, and as I explained earlier, the dill comes on these seed heads, and each little top part is a dill seed. So we're just going to store it right here in this envelope marked dill, and then there's my seeds down in there. And we've got dill to plant for next couple of years. This is a black zucchini. I on purpose let it grow to this size because I wanted to harvest some healthy sized seeds for planting for next year's crop for my zucchini. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and harvest some seeds, get them dried, and we'll put them in their envelope that I have marked black zucchini for next year's seed file. And there's the seeds on those. We want to let these seeds dry out. and then we'll store them for the year. And this zucchini I'll just feed to the livestock. Here you guys go. There's some vegetables. Other seed I managed to save is sweet basil, my drought-proof Wando peas, which I got some peas growing over here in the garden that I featured in my previous video on gardening, the fall garden, and those are doing fantastic. Those are seeds saved from last year's crop. Also my cantaloupe, which is the Minnesota midgets, I've got a bunch of seed from those. So I've got a good start for next year's garden as far as my seed storage goes. So as these tomatoes ripen, I will be saving the seed from those tomatoes also for next year's tomato crop. I haven't had any luck with saving any carrot seed yet because I didn't have a chance to let carrots go to seed. I'm hoping these carrots will go to seed so I can save those carrots. I had to actually buy some along with seeds for those fall crop items, and as they grow I'll let those go to seed and I'll harvest the seeds for those for next year. So as far as self-reliance goes, that is a tip. Save your seed. Allow some of your fruit to go to seed and save it. And also check out my video on how to get free clippings and grow your own free fruit trees. I'm Jerry Hansen, your host here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm glad you tuned in and learned a little tip on how I'm striving to be self-reliant here on the homestead. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and stay tuned to more videos as I can imagine what I can produce for you guys on how to live a self-sustaining lifestyle like I'm struggling to live. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.